Okay, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Today is our regular meeting of December the 7th, 2021, and also for the record, this will serve as our organizational meeting for 2021. We are required to have an organizational meeting in December of each year, and there is an item of business, item 8, that will be for that organizational portion. So the first item today is we do have a proclamation that we would like to entertain. And so I'm going to go ahead and just present this proclamation for the board to consider. This is a proclamation declaring December the 10th, 2021 as Darrell Woodard Day of Service. Whereas an individual may stand out during a lifetime due to a special commitment to the community and the needs of others, and whereas Darrell Woodard was dedicated to community service and service to others, and whereas Darrell Woodard was an active firefighter for 42 years, chief of the Savannah Volunteer Fire Department since 1984, and served as a Jackson County Fire Services Coordinator. Whereas Darrell Woodard spent his time serving his community as a first responder or by helping the community with needs such as building ramps, repairing roofs, assisting elderly with home repairs, delivering groceries to the homebound, organizing fundraisers, and surprising children with Christmas gifts. And whereas Darrell Woodard passed away December 29th, 2020, the passing of Darrell Woodard has caused a deep void of sadness in the community. And whereas Darrell Woodard's family and the Savannah Fire Department are hosting a Christmas toy drive to help the Salvation Army and Angel Tree program collect toys to benefit needy children in Jackson County. And whereas December the 10th, Darrell Woodard's birthday, shall be a day of service where citizens are encouraged to serve others or the community on this day in his honor, memory, and legacy. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners for the County of Jackson that December the 10th, 2021 be declared as Darrell Woodard Day of Service in Jackson County. Is there a motion to accept this proclamation and approve it?
I move that we accept this proclamation.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion? All in favor of the proclamation, please signify by saying aye.
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 And this is supposed to be somewhat of a surprise, a secret. I know we are in a live meeting and this is a public meeting, so I think as much as we can keep it as on the down low as possible, there will be an opportunity this Friday to present this proclamation and to have a public announcement about it. So I just wanted to mention that, even though we took open action here publicly today. Next is the approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda for today? Hearing none, then do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second? Any question or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next is our approval of the minutes. We have our work session minutes from November the 9th. We have our regular meeting minutes from November 16th. Then our reconvene minutes of the regular meeting on November the 18th. After having had a chance to review those, it's distributed by the clerk. What's the pleasure of the board?
I move that we accept the minutes as presented.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion? All right, hearing none then, is all in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Nay. Ayes have it. Next is administrative reports. I do not have a chairman's report to offer this evening. Commissioner Dietz? Commissioner Woody?
I have the privilege of attending the Christmas parade up in Cashiers and also the one in Silva. And I just want to say that I was so pleased with the participation from our community. Both parades were very well done and a wonderful celebration of Christmas in our community.
Okay. Thank you for that. Commissioner Striblin?
I do. Actually, I went to the parade also in Silva. It was a lot of fun, a lot of happy faces. And also have word from Eddie Wells that the Operation Christmas Box is going real well. I sent some pictures earlier, Justin. He's going to load them down. There they are on the screen here.
Nice.
So yeah, that's going real well. Happy to share those with y'all. And look at that picture there.
Beautiful.
Look at all those boxes. So yeah, real excited about that, and just glad we're in a community where everybody's willing to help out and, you know, make everybody else's Christmas good that's not going to be very good, you know? So.
Very good, very good. Commissioner Jones, no, Commissioner Jones is participating today remotely via Zoom. Give him opportunity to provide a report.
I had invited Ashley Mitchell Lanning, who's on agenda item number 12, to the commissioners to introduce her to you. I left a message at her work, but I didn't hear back from her, so I hope she's not sitting there expecting me to introduce her. But please show her the good repose that you all have, if she is in the room. When we'll get to her on item 12 on the agenda. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. And she is not here. I know you're sort of at a disadvantage. You
Good.
can't span the room and see who's here, but she is not present here in the audience.
Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, no other reports from the commissioners. We'll now go to our county manager, Mr. Don Adams, and for his county manager's report.
Yes, sir. No formal report. I just wanted to provide some information to the board. I have received 3 responses for the request for qualifications for the domestic violence shelter and the planning of the homeless shelter. The 3 that's been received is from O'Brien Architecture, based out of Asheville, from McMillan, Paston, and Smith, who also has a operation in Asheville and in multiple locations, and then also Clark Nixon, who has operations out of Asheville, but obviously multiple operations. I also want to let the board know, so the next steps on this would be selecting the most qualified firm, and then a contract will be brought back before this board, but that contract will be related to the domestic violence shelter only. I did have a sit down and have a meeting with Bob Cochran from here, and we are proceeding forward at this point. I do have him scheduled for the January work session, in which we will bring to this board some proposals to bring in assistance on helping us facilitate and get input from stakeholders on how to develop and operate a homeless program. That will be a multi-month process, which it would get input from the board, input from other stakeholders, things of that nature. Also, Mr. Jones, I did talk to Bob about just trying to bring a summary of who those stakeholders may be and partners. I believe you had requested maybe some information in regards to how much funding is out there in the different agencies that provide some service to the homeless. And so I think another way to look at that is just bring in who the stakeholders are and who provides service. And, you know, a lot of these organizations, their entire budget is not dedicated to serving the homeless. They have a budget, but just a portion of it is towards the homeless. So I think what we'll be able to do is provide a comprehensive list of who the partners out there are, stakeholders who currently right now work with the homeless and other population groups. And so that's just my update on that, Mr. Chairman.
Sir, any questions for Mr. Adams?
Okay. Thank you.
Our next is informal comments by the public. We do not have anyone signed up to speak today, and I do not see anyone online unless there's been any additions. I'm getting heads nodding no, so we'll move on. First item is under our new business. We do not have any old business to take care of today. And this will be item number 1, which is fireworks display request. And Mr. Tony Elders is here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. As always, appreciate you letting me be here. We're representing the Jackson County Chamber and the Jackson County Recreation Department. They're proposing a fireworks display Friday night, December 17th, downtown Silva. It goes along with a downtown night of shopping. I don't remember the believe there's a name for that. I don't have that tip of my tongue. Did check with Fire Marshal Forbes and Forest Ranger Eric, I don't remember his last name, County Forest Ranger. Yeah, that he works with the Silver Fire Department as well. And they said the burn ban in place currently did not affect fireworks displays. With that in mind, and also the possibility of a rain out, Julie has asked that we request approval for New Year's Eve as a rain date or a burn ban date as such. And again, it would be at 7:30 p.m., not at midnight on New Year's Eve. But both shows would be at 7:30 p.m. is what they're proposing. And it's in the same location as we usually do downtown and the same display operator that we've had the last couple of times.
All right, you've heard the request presented to authorize these fireworks shows for downtown Silva on December the 17th, and then the alternate date of December 31st. What's the pleasure of the board?
I move that we accept this proposal.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion? All right, hearing none then, Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Deeds? Yes. Commissioner Woody?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Next is item 2, the Cashers Recreation Master Plan. While this is somewhat old business, we have seen this before, but it is an action item for tonight, and I'll recognize Rusty Ellis, our Recreation Director tonight.
Thank you. Hope everybody's doing well. Mr. Jones, just wanted to get back in front of with you. I know we talked about this several weeks ago and just wanted to see if y'all had opportunity to look over it. If you had any questions about it, I'd be glad to go over it again. But just wanted to see what y'all felt like on what steps to move forward with this plan.
Let me ask this question of the board members. Is there anyone objecting to moving forward with adopting this Cashers Recreation Master Plan at this time? Do we need any more time? Does anyone need any additional time to consider it? All right. If I don't hear any objections to table, then we'll go ahead and entertain a motion then to adopt it.
I'd make a motion to adopt the Cashers Recreation Plan as presented.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Any additional discussion or questions?
Just to clarify, had you, since we talked about the pool being eliminated, the outside pool and everything, have you gotten any pushback on that from the organizations that were using it?
As of today, we have not.
Okay, good.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none then, Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Woody?
Yes.
Commissioner Deeds?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Next is item 3. We'll recognize Mr. Adams to talk a little bit about this item. This has to do with our holiday decorations at the old Jackson County Library on the Courthouse Hill. And give him the opportunity to get to the podium and then explain a little bit about.
Yes, sir. This is the Wolf Creek Tree Farm. I thought it would be good to just publicly recognize this tree farm. For the last couple of years, they've donated 80 trees for the county to utilize for our beautiful courthouse holiday decoration scene. And you also have in front of you just a proposed thank you letter that we requested the board sign and send to them. And it's really just a public recognition of their donation and our appreciation to them. And they work well with our county staff, and the whole community benefits from their donations.
Very, very good. Very much appreciate that, and we'll express that in written form as well. And no action required here today, just to publicly
Yes,
thank them
Yes, sir.
for their generous donation.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments or questions on this item before we move on?
Well, I've driven through Silva several times lately where people are stopped taking pictures, and I just love that. So.
Very nice. Okay, next is item 4, which is our December meeting schedule. Mr. Adams?
Yes, sir. It is being proposed to the board to cancel the December 21st meeting and then to call a special called meeting December 14th at 1:30 PM. Basically, that would be held, uh, could be potentially right after the regularly scheduled work session, or if the work session runs over, then you can open up the special called meeting. I would request for you to make that special called meeting the 14th, just in case there is just some items to be finished up that this board may need to vote on before the end of December. I do say 1:30. I can tell you right now, I just have a couple of items on the agenda for the 14th meeting. I believe it's the skate park. We got the TDA to do some presentations, and we're also going to do some retiree recognitions at that meeting. And so I believe 1:30 would be a good time to have the special call meeting.
So to summarize, we are being requested to call for a special meeting on December 14th at 1:30 to conduct business. And then also in that same motion, we would need to cancel the meeting on the 21st.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Would someone like to make that motion?
I'll do.
Okay.
First of all, I move that we cancel the meeting on the 21st, and then we have a special meeting, which will be at 1:30, correct?
Correct. On December.
On December the 14th.
All right, Commissioner Dietz has made this in the form of a motion as requested by the manager. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. And I think Commissioner Jones's dog is going to voice his support for that. But we'll officially ask the clerk to call the roll.
Commissioner Deeds?
Yes.
Commissioner Woody?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yeah, he said yes.
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, next is item 5, the tax software contract. We have with us our tax administrator, Ms. Tabitha Ash. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. This is just a follow-up from a conversation we had at the last work session. There is a minor change on page 2 I want to point out, which is actually to our benefit. While we're working out the details in the contract, the price dropped by $15,000, and they were also willing to just break all of the cost over a 5-year period, the data conversion cost and the license cost, instead of having to do that data conversion cost over 2 years and then adding it back in. So that it changed a little bit, but it is to our benefit, and it'll be a little bit easier to maintain since the cost will be basically the same going throughout that period. So I would just ask that you please approve my request for some new software.
Okay. You've heard the request to approve this contract for new software for our tax administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion to approve this.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any questions or discussion? Hearing none then, Madam Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Woody?
Yes.
Commissioner Deeds?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you. I'm next up.
Okay. That's right. You have another one. Another very important one. Under our legislative portion. Item 6, a joint resolution adopting and establishing the common boundary line between Jackson County and Macon County. This will be resolution R21-34.
This is just another follow-up to a conversation we had at the work session, just kind of finalizing this 8-year boundary line project that we've had, and just going ahead and moving forward with what the North Carolina Geodetic Survey determined as our new boundary line. And this will also be voted on, same resolution by Macon County next week. I'll just ask you to approve this resolution so we can start getting some of those boundary lines changed and worked out.
All right, do we have a motion then to approve resolution R21-34?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Okay. Any question or discussion? Okay,
Yeah, yes.
go ahead, Commissioner Deeds.
Now, we're gonna adopt this. And Macon County's gonna adopt it next week.
Yes.
Hopefully we're probably.
Well, that's the plan,
And
yes.
then at that point, what's the next?
The follow-up after that, the North Carolina Geodetic Survey has to wait on us to get the minutes from both counties. So for us, they'll probably get it this month, but Macon County probably won't be till next month since they usually just have one meeting a month. So once they've got those minutes, they said they would go ahead and send out letters to all the affected owners. So I would expect that to be February at the earliest. So that'll notify them that this change has occurred, and then we'll be beginning the process of finalizing all those lines, making all those adjustments. And then we'll send out, in addition to Macon County, the beginning of 23, our new value changes. But that letter will allow them to contact us and ask us questions in advance. It'll give us a county contact for them to call as well.
Does the legislature have any say-so one way or the other, anything to do this?
To do it, what we requested it be done. Yeah.
If we go through this,
Uh-huh.
anything else has to be
Not to my
done
knowledge,
to
no.
them or whatever?
No, that's my determination. They need a resolution, and once they have that, they'll need the minute approval. Heather can correct me if I'm incorrect, but once that was all they seem to need, the adoption of those minutes. So, and then they'll provide that information to the Secretary of State, record it with our Register of Deeds office, and it gets the ball rolling after we've adopted this resolution and finalized the minutes, from my understanding. Yeah, thank you.
I did have a question that came to me after that meeting where you described this. I know we have a little piece of the town of Highlands that's in Jackson County. Does that affect this? I mean, does this affect that? Or what?
The line will change in some of that area, yes.
But we will still have portions of.
We will still have a portion of the town of Highlands, yes.
So we will still have that responsibility with their,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Just, I was curious.
Yes.
Have any impact? Thank you.
Other questions? Okay, hearing none then, Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Deeds?
Yes.
Commissioner Woody?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Stribling?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes, motion carries. And you also have another item.
Yeah.
3 in a row.
Knocking them all out in one night.
All right, item 7, the Plat Review Officer Resolution. This is Resolution R21-35.
And this is just a resolution allowing my office, certain members of my office, to approve plats before they're recorded. And we just had a staffing change there. We have a new employee, so we removed the prior employee and put our new employee. That's the only change.
No, forget it.
All right, this motion is in order. So Commissioner Stribling, would you like to make that motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Any additional questions or discussion? Hearing none then, Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Woody?
Yes.
Commissioner Deeds?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you very much. I am
Thank you very
done.
much. Have a nice evening. Next is item 8. As I alluded in the beginning of the meeting, this will be the portion that serves as our organizational part for tonight. I'll recognize Ms. Baker, our attorney, to talk a little bit about this 2022 meeting schedule and the resolution that it falls in R21-36.
Yes, so though an organizational meeting is required every year, there's really not much business for us to do at an organizational meeting other than set the meeting schedule. And that's what you have here. And this it gives you an opportunity to change that if you decide that we could set this up to stay the same. And if that's the case, then once this resolution is adopted, then your clerk can send that out to the sunshine list and post it where it needs to be posted for the upcoming year.
Any questions about this before we entertain a motion? Nothing's changing. We're remaining as is, but we just have to, every opportunity, every year, to put this before the board and to ratify it, to just restate our meeting dates and times, to clarify for the public.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the 2022 meeting schedule resolution.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion or questions? Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Deeds?
Yes.
Commissioner Woody?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes, motion carries. Item 9, I would like to ask that we hold this one till the end of the meeting schedule for tonight. It might require some lengthy discussion. So let's go ahead and take care of these appointments and other business, and then we'll come back to item 9. Appointments, item 10, you see a letter from Mike Poston. It says, I've contacted Joyce Cooper, Brian Barwick, Sandra Davis, Thomas Talby, and Brad Waldrop about their interest in being reappointed to serve another term. They have all confirmed that they're willing to serve an additional term. So this is for the planning board, item 10. So tonight, I know these are appointments that we can make ourselves. Is there anyone that's interested in moving forward tonight with one of these appointments, or you want to carry them over?
Well, I would like to go ahead and approve or recommend Joyce Cooper for District 1. She lives in Whittier and was one of those that's willing to be reappointed. And then for the at-large position, I would like to bring forward Ken Brown's name.
Okay.
He has been approved through the process of the volunteer application and background check.
Okay. We have Commissioner Woody has to. Is there any of the other commissioners want to take care of their appointments tonight?
Mr. Chairman, if that helps to clarify, I think Commissioner Woody's talking about the position of Mr. White, the at-large position.
Yes, I'm sorry.
He has already served 2 full terms, so he is not eligible for reappointment.
Correct.
That is an open position.
Thank you for clarifying.
I'd like to make a motion to include Thomas Talby for District 4, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Anybody else tonight? Well, we can do them all under one motion that want to do. I want to hold off on my appointment for tonight. Are you ready for yours tonight for the District 3?
Yes.
Yeah. Commissioner Deach, are you ready tonight or you want to hold off?
I haven't spoken to them or anything.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had a chance to follow up on mine. I'd like to carry my appointment over.
I would also, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So we do have Commissioner Woody, District 1, Commissioner Stribling, District 3, Commissioner Jones, District 4, are willing to reappoint those names on the list. And then for the at-large appointment, it's been suggested that we appoint Ken Brown, who has served before and also has completed his check, so he's eligible to be reappointed. So if someone wants to put that in the form of a motion, then that we approve all those names as just suggested.
I move that we approve the names as stated by Chairman McMahon.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right. If not, Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Deeds?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes. Motion carries. And then we'll take the others up at a later date. Next is item 11. That's the Recreation and Parks Advisory Board. We have here also a letter from Rusty Ellis. He's recommended the reappointment of Jana Fulton to serve another 3-year term on that Parks, Recreation and Parks Advisory Board. What's the pleasure of this board?
I make a motion to approve Jana Fulton for another 3-year term as the Recreation Parks Advisory Board.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any question or discussion? Madam Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
Commissioner Deeds? Commissioner Woody?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Stribling?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon.
Yes, motion carries.
Isn't that?
And item 12 is the Tourism Development Authority, the TDA. We have a letter from the Executive Director, Mr. Breedlove, saying that for the seat expiring on December 2nd, held by Ann Self of the Village Green of Cashers, we would ask for Ashley Mitchell Lanning as her replacement. And then they're asking also for Robert Jumper to be appointed chair. What's the pleasure of this board?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion to appoint Ashley Mitchell Lanning as to replace Ann Self, who retired, and to continue with Robert Jumper as chair.
Okay, we have this in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any questions or discussion? If not, Madam Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
Commissioner Stribling,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Deeds,
Yes.
Chairman McMahon.
Yes, motion carries. Are there any members of the press corps still with us on the Zoom? Do not see any. Am I?
Hannah.
Oh, Hannah McLeod. Yes, I see Hannah now with Smoky Mountain News. Is there any questions, Hannah?
I don't have any questions.
Thank you so much. If they are, just follow up with us. We do have need for closed session. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Then we'll come back and take care of item 9 in a minute. That is, I think, if I remember correctly, Mr. Adams, we have legal, GS 143, 318, 11A3, and then personnel, GS 143, 318, 11A6. I have a motion to go into closed session concerning those two items.
So moved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 order. We do need to go back now and take care of item 9. I'll only first report that no action was taken in closed session with the exception of just the approval of the minutes. So we do need to take care of item 9. This is the offer to purchase and contract from Divine Consulting LLC with Resolution R21-37. We'll recognize Ms. Baker to go through these several.
Yeah, so this is an offer to purchase 24 of our lots in one basic subdivision. This offer, this Divine Consulting, is someone that's connected to the developer that has recently in the last couple of years come in and gotten this development or trying to get this development up and going again. So the offer is for $12,000 for the lots. If you want to, Don, if you don't mind going on down, the offer itself, you see all the stuff crossed out as he goes through that. That shows that we're not paying any assessments, but previous or current, that the lots are being sold as is, and that will provide a non-warranty deed as we do in all of our sales. These are the lots that he's purchasing. Most of these the county has owned for 6 or more years. There are 2 of the lots that were foreclosed on more recently in the last couple of years, but even they are beyond our year for the policy. So we will, if we sell these to him, we will not be paying any assessments previously, and that will get these back on the tax rolls and moving forward. I do believe that we may get some upset bids, or we may not. So I've had a couple of calls over the last couple of years, but when people realize that there are potential property owners' dues or assessments, they're not as interested. But we will still, as always, send, if this is approved, we will send letters out to all adjoining property owners. And we will also post it in the paper for the upset bid process. So we may very well receive some upset bids, and we'll handle those per lot as they come. So, and actually, Don, if you'll scroll on down to the map, I've highlighted the lots there, and then this is the map. I thought this was the best way to show you these lots. All of the red dots are a lot, or one of those 24 lots. And just to give you an idea of where this is, as you pass the Water Dance covered bridge going towards Glenville.
Yes.
It's right past that. It goes in the bottom right-hand corner is that Water Dance Road where that bridge is located.
Creek Road.
Yes, yeah, and I think somewhere on, well, let's see, I've got it right here.
You go past that covered bridge?
Yes,
Cross the covered.
correct. You're correct. Cullowhee Forest Road actually goes, Cullowhee Forest Road, and then goes up into Hunter Jim Creek Road. If you're asking about the size of the lots, I think they range in size from 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, a little half of an acre,
Little tiny piece.
up to probably a little over, slightly over an acre would be the most on the steeper ones, because they think they were originally designed to be able to try and get septic or water on there.
I said.
What is the name of the development again? I know this is
The old
company.
River Rock.
And actually, this
River Rock development, yeah.
this developer has actually gone back to that name, River Rock, so it is using the same name as well.
Where that covered bridge is.
It's past that.
Oh,
The-
it's
the-
not
yeah,
part of that development.
right. Originally, those two were somewhat connected. They were separate but connected, but this one goes past that and goes way up there. Most of these roads are not currently passable, but hopefully they will be in time as they get more money into the association and get the roads going.
So,
Some of it out for Trout Creek.
Yes, I believe some of it is. I see Trout Creek Road.
It's over here down at the
Yeah, then the
bottom.
bottom right
But
side.
it's on the other side of 107.
Yeah, this is across the road. It's up Hunter Jim Creek Road, Sellers Bend. Probably most of these, Pilot Mountain View goes on up in there.
Just a tad. Okay, no, there you go. So I think if you look to the top right, you'll see Water Dance Drive.
Oh,
That comes off of 107, so
I
that's
see.
facing north, and you're going south as you drive down the map. So you'll see 107 comes down, Trout Creek will be on your left, and
Right.
107 keeps going. So this is all to the right.
Right.
This would be as you're going up the mountain, be on your right.
I see.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty far. Yeah, I think I said bottom right, but Water Dance
If
is
I
in the
remember-
top right.
Correctly, a lot of these lots in there were pretty steep.
Yes.
Some of them were pretty steep.
Yeah. Are there existing homes in this development? Do you know?
I don't believe in this. I don't believe in some of the areas. I've shown you some of these in the past where folks have bought like a lot that adjoins them. They may have a house. When I was working on this, and it took me a while to get this map put together in such a way with these red dots on there, I don't recall seeing any homes.
If there is, there's not many.
No.
Because it wasn't long before they came in and did all the roads and everything in there, and that's when the bottom fell out. And they lost everything, along with a lot of people, really. I mean,
Now down there at Cabbage Curve, you know that road that turns right back up to it.
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
coming down, you come around Cabbage Curve, and now there's a road. Shoot, that's part of this, I guess.
I think
Well,
you're right.
I think that's Colway Forest. Is that Colway Forest Road? I believe in there, and it goes into some other developments that are better. And then, but yes, it does go then up into this area. You're right.
Is that Cabbage Curve where I'm pointing? Is that your?
A lot of steep.
I think it is.
Maybe.
There's 107.
Yeah.
And you come down.
So that's, all that's going back toward the big bridge.
Yep.
Okay, so Heather, just to clarify, what we would do is we accept this offer to purchase and contract and also approve the resolution R2137, which would start the upset bid process. And you would advertise, you'd send out the letters, and then what's the time frame on the, assuming there were no upset bids, then what would be the earliest we could take action?
So because it's going to take a while to send the letters out, I think rather than run the ad next week, we'll run it the following week. So that would be the week of the 20th. And so if the ad was run that week, then it's 10 days from the date it publishes in the paper, from their actual publication date. Usually that's a Thursday. It might be a Wednesday that week because of Christmas, but I'm not sure. So 10 days from that date. Usually that ends on a weekend, so we bring that to Monday at 5 o'clock. So the Monday at 5 o'clock on the 10th day, if there were no upset bids, that would close that out, and we could then move forward to closing. And so I would work with the buyer here to close that with probably their attorney.
So in all likelihood, I guess what I'm trying to say is if we move forward with accepting this and approving this resolution today, this won't come back before us until the second meeting in January, potentially at the earliest.
That's correct. And if there were no upset bids, it would not come back to you. It would only come back if there are upset bids to approve those later bids.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board concerning this item 9?
Well, I'm for it, but I don't hardly know how to make a motion.
Make a motion to approve the purchase contract and the resolution.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. All right. Commissioner
Yeah, I
Dietz,
do, I agree
yeah,
with that.
Commissioner Dietz has made a motion to move forward and to accept the offer to purchase and contract and to approve resolution R21-37. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
Commissioner Deeds?
Yes.
Commissioner Woody?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Stribling?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes, motion carries. Is there any other business? Okay, do we have a motion then to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.